I'm Ipeleng Kwadi with your weekly dose of positive and uplifting news. This is Stories Untold. Welcome to the show. All you green fingers and the general farming community, this episode is for you. Today we are sharing the story of Ipeleng Kwadi, a young female farmer who is passionate about growing the farming sector in South Africa. She wants to get detour away from farming, but farming called her back as it is her calling. As she is growing and taking a journey as a farmer, she's bringing along a new generation of farmers out there. This is her story.
My name is Ipeleng Kwadi, a young female farmer from Brits in the Northwest Province. Growing up as a girl child at home, you want to go out there, playing on the streets and going out with your friends, playing. But then this is a different environment. You've got that conservative father who wants to understand that how much eggs did you sell, how much did you make, what was your loss. So I thought it was very fair because I want to go out there and be like everybody. But then right now when I reflect back on my memories, I realize that this was full of love and there was so much love. Before I came into farming full time, I was a teacher. I've studied my Bachelor's of Education in the Northwest University Mafikeng campus, and I did my honors there as well. So I decided that, all my family members are into farming. So I took a bold step and decided that I'm going to quit and join the family business.
Ipeleng gave it all up for her first love.
Ipeleng was once a teacher at Budubelo Primary School. She was offering Setswana, life skills, and sometimes she offered social sciences. She's one energetic teacher who is very creative. In her years being here, I for one really enjoyed being with her, really enjoyed her presence, her creativity. Led to so many things, so many improvements in our school. When Ipeleng came to my office informing me that she is leaving the system, I was so shocked. I cried on that day. I asked her that if she really wants to exit the system. She said, Sister Boss, you know well that I love farming. And that is my dream to one day to be a farmer. So I'm leaving the system of being an educator to be a farmer. Then I asked her a question that, are you really sure? Can't you run this thing concurrently? And she said, no, I won't be able to run them concurrently because my main focus is going to be on farming. Yes, I was so hurt, but on the other side, being happy for her, for having progress and being able to achieve her goal.
But was she ready for her new career?
After leaving my work, I had to take my pension funds, which was something not so much. And I have to see that that money can be able to sustain me. When you start your own business, you must have a plan. So I sat down and drafted my own plans that I've identified the gap in the industry. So where exactly am I going to start investing my money? And you must think of something like, am I going to get the profit? Because in farming, it's about you take 3 months to plant the crops, and after that, there's no money so you need to make sure that the money flows according to your plans. So, and the challenges, you must have that money that you are sure that this money can be able to sustain me until my next harvest. So when I started my journey in agriculture, my plan was to have my own farm and produce feed. So when I started my business, I wanted to start planting lucerne and plant any other grains that I'm going to process them and start distributing towards our emerging farmers and supply them. So yes, it's take years, it's a long-term goal. And there are other things that I'm still doing currently to make sure that I'm sustaining my dream. So I started with vegetables for the first 3 months, which was a loss. And I started reflecting back to my dad that, I told you to keep records. You need to keep a record of everything so that you can go back to your books and see where did you fail, what can I do? So a lot of accountability. Farming needs a lot of accountability and a lot of record keeping. I started buying some bowls that are stud breeders that I'm definitely sure that they are going to bring back the money that I've lost. So yes, it's all about the genes, the quality genes of the animals. So here my plans is to keep on selling the semens of animals.
However, an accident threatened her plans.
I was involved in an accident in 2019 and people thought I'm dead. So the first people who arrived at the accident, they didn't even call the ambulance because they thought there's no more life because my car was crushed. There was no hope, you know. And, you know, I'm a very positive woman. And as I was driving, I could see that I'm getting into the accident. So I prayed, you know, even after it happened, I could still recall back that I don't know where I got the power to pray for life because I was helpless and prayer was the only thing that I had at that moment. So I was never negative. I knew that I'm going to make it back to life. So after the car crashed, I remained there for about, I'm not sure, but the people who came, they couldn't do anything until there's a guy who arrived, according to the people who were there. He said, no, it's very appropriate to call the ambulance. And he called the ambulance. I think the ambulance took about 4 hours because it was in the village, rural part of the village. I was on my way back from fishing. I love fishing. I had a femur fracture, and coming out of the hospital, I knew that I'm going to meet the new Ipeleng. She's no longer be the same Ipeleng who's running around the farm and using the horse to make the calls around the farm. You know, I love riding horses. So now you are different and you must heal. So, but I took my time, you know. I told myself that I had different comments from people saying, Ipeleng, you won't be able to walk again. You won't be able to go back to farming, you know. And I told myself that I'm going to focus. This is me. And I did that. I took my time to recover, and I've recovered fully. And even today, people are asking myself exactly what happened to Ipeleng, because she was stuck in a wheelchair for about 5 months and trying to get to know this new Ipeleng. But I fell in love with the new Ipeleng because she saw the possibilities. She never gave up.
Welcome back. You are still watching Stories Untold. Remember, we are also on social media at Stories Untold TV, so do send us a shout out, show us some love. We'll be happy to hear from you. We still continue with our story of Ipeleng Kwadi, a young female farmer who's also passionate about food security in South Africa, one of the biggest challenges that Africa in general is grappling with. How is she doing that? Let's see.
Some of the challenges that I had after my accident was I was not able to walk. I'm used to walking, and now I must get used to the new life of operating the wheelchair. But I was not afraid to ask. I always ask people, what type of wheelchair can I get? Which one is more comfortable? And making the research about the type of fracture that I have, if I'll be able to move back to the farming industry. And I will also check the physiotherapist, the best one that can be able to have enough time for me and help me recover back.
The 30-year-old farmer says during her healing journey, she learned to appreciate the things we normally take for granted.
I got one of the best physiotherapists. It was a private girl from Garangua, Unde. She was helping me to recover back. She gave me enough time, gave me enough exercises to make sure that I'm able to make a process, you know, a healing process that was not really painful. Because, you know, if you can't walk, it made me see life in other way, that, you know, waking up, standing up, it's a blessing on its own.
Ipeleng is passionate about mentoring young farmers. She uses social media to attract young people to this crucial industry.
I'm running the coaching and mentorship programs from the NYDA, National Youth Development Agency, under the Faculty of Agriculture. what I do, I identify some of the young farmers who are already there in the field, and then we submit their names within the NYDA, and I always sit down with them once a week and hear their challenges, sit down, share ideas on where can we change, what can we do to make sure that our value chain is growing. So I'm running another coaching program, the mentorship program from the Office of the Premier in the Northwest Province, where it has been 3 years now. I started in 2019, where I've been identifying young farmers, youth especially in the Northwest Province within all the 4 districts. And we sit together, we identify our challenges, and we present our challenge to the Office of the Premier and the MEC of Agriculture in the Northwest Province. And I'm so happy that the mentorship program is working, because last year we had some bulls that were donated by the MEC to the youth of Northwest. Currently, I've got 2 graduates in the farm. The first one is Masego Traile. He's doing crop science. Actually, it's mixed farming from the Potchefstroom College of Agriculture. He's doing final year, and he's going to be here for the next 11 months.
I'm currently studying to obtain a diploma in mixed agriculture at Potchefstroom College of Agriculture. And it's my 3rd year of study. I'm still an undergraduate. Okay, I'm here to do experimental learning. Ipeleng Kwadi is my mentor, and she's a very good person to work under, because she has a great experience under the beef production system. And yeah, I'm pleased with working with her.
And the second one, I have Abraham. He's from Rustenburg, around the district. He's studying in the Northwest University. He was one of the unemployed graduates, where the MEC just placed them in our farms to start working and providing us with labor. So I have both of them. They are working together. And Abraham is doing crop science.
I did diploma in plant science with crop production at Northwest University. 2021, I was unemployed. Then there was an advertisement of this initiative, and I applied. Luckily, I got a call for the interview. I was employed. The Department of Agricultural and Rural Development assisted unemployed graduates to get this agricultural employment. On the 1st of February 2022, I started on this employment. I met Ipeleng Kwadi through this internship. Ipeleng Kwadi is one of those bosses whereby you could easily interact with.
So today I'm with my agriculture interns and the students who are doing their practicals. We've got some few cows in the kraal. They are going to dip the cows, because it's very important for the animal health, because they are the ones who are running your production. So we've got their dips where they'll be dipping. They'll be showing you in the kraal how they do their dippings, because some of them, they are from the colleges, and they must come with those new experiences and show us how can we change the way of we've been traditionally doing so. So I love having them around, because they are showing me some of the things that can be done in a different way.
She has met some of her mentees through her DMs. She says some of them have surpassed her expectations with their creative ideas.
Meeting people like Zandile into the mentorship program was a success, because they are very young, vibrant women who are in the space of farming, and they want just smart farming. I normally tell them that, even without the land, you can utilize a smaller space and see how you can make your money and how you can plan your business in making sure that the space that you are working in is producing enough to provide you and your family. So yeah, Zandile decided to go for hydroponics. Those are high-profile farming profiles. So Zandile is doing well. She's farming at the rooftop of Santon, and she's producing vegetables.
My name is Zandile Kumalo. I am the CEO and founder of High Harvest, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Neighbor Roots. These 2 companies are focused on hydroponic farming. So basically what we do in our companies, we bring exposures to youngsters and what we do and how technology is moving within the farming industry. Basically, hydroponics is farming with farming with no soil, putting the nutrients directly to the roots so that your plants can grow into its optimal best. How I met Ipeleng is quite an inspirational story for me, because I started back in basically hydroponics. I started it back in 2016, and there was no female farmers that you find, especially online on Twitter, and you actually find yourself being alone as a farmer and a female farmer within the industry of men, because farming is known for men and older generational men, and we struggle, youngsters, to actually pull through the breaks of finding youngsters that actually you can share the same mindset with. So Ipeleng, when I started my account on Twitter, I got to meet up with her, and I was like so inspired by a lady who's pushing so much within the livestock industry and also going into the vegetable industry, and her understanding how farming is done. And she has been there through family generational. That means she has been there for the longest of time. And I made contact with her through DMs, and that's how actually we started our relationship of being friends and being able to meet up with each other. Because of her stature and her friendliness, she opened up so much to me, and she was able to show so many things to me in terms of questions that I would have to say, if this is wrong, what do we do? How do we strategize? The greatest thing that she has done for me is also expose me to such conferences, because she invited me to a Women in Agriculture conference, and therefore she was able to allow me to expose myself and what do I do within the farming industry.
Back in the years, people thought that farming is for male. And now that as women, we are making it in the industry, it's very important to make sure that we become the positive role models and see how we can support other upcoming young farmers.
Welcome back to the show. Today we are still continuing with our story of a young female farmer, Ipeleng Kwadi. Her story is filled of young people who are just as passionate about farming as she is. What makes her unique is that when she eventually celebrates all her milestones in farming, she'll be also celebrating stories of people that she's taken along with her. She now introduces us to a young subsistence farmer who she is helping to break into mainstream farming. We later meet her mentor. Let's go straight into it.
The experience of meeting young, especially youth, who wants to join the farming, it's very exciting, because we need to join the industry of food security. We need to secure food and make sure that there's 0% hunger level in Africa. So I always get excited, and I always go out all in making sure that I provide the mentorship and make sure that I equip you with knowledge and make you that you can tour around the farmers that you have chosen, that you want to specialize in a certain crop or whatever the type of farming that you are interested in. So that process is very nice to see women in the industry.
This 26-year-old farmer from Limpopo is here to meet Ipeleng. She's joining her mentorship program.
I'm Precious Mokwanam Power, in Alemangaya 26. I'm from Bochum, Hamachava. I'm a farmer. Kivereka under the Empower production, farming production. My love for farming started while I was still young. Kitomiliki kidira at the backyard. So kipelaki kidira the veg civilian honako high, then kidi ridira up until I decided, okay, let me do something big nyana. Then gatoma dira go high kamera at the back of the house. Kadira yo hulu up until kibana, okay, let me start doing something big. Let me start doing what I love. Yeah, kuhona kitungo kitomilong ho. Yama toma kitomilong we dira kitomile kaolema kibongis the white one, the beans the white one. So kitomile kidirekisha locally. Then the other thing eki limileng abedika dira okra. Okra neki rekisha from Johannesburg market. Then kadira lead butternut kidirekisha locally. Then the beetroots and carrots lichana kidirekisha locally. Kirekisha local market, yeah.
Ipeleng took Precious around a cattle farm as part of her induction.
business e nngwe le e nngwe gore e thome or e gole e nyaka a mentor only one o ka se kgone so e nyaka batho ba le gore ba tlo o tlhotlholetsa motho e le gore mo tlo guide e dilo di sa tsamaye botsa bontsha gore you are supposed to do this and that so or business e tsamaye ga botse motho mo le mo tshwanetse a be le a mentor gore a mo thushe along the business.
Precious believes she will learn a lot from Ipeleng, and she is hopeful that her business will go to the next level after this experience.
I'm hoping or in the next few years ke tla be ke na le metsi ke tla be ke na le electricity ke tla be ke na le other resources tse le re di tlo nthusha go hodisha business yaka.
I have Agriculture Research Council in Pretoria, Irene, and I'm working with Dr. Scholz, who's in the meat production. You know, in this industry, you need to see what is currently happening, especially in producing meat. You need to know that which breed is good and the type of meat that it's gonna produce. So you need experts. You need experts who understand much better into the breeding department. So we've got Dr. Scholz, who'd always go to ARC and see how he can assist me in choosing, especially for the past 3 months. I've been looking for a new bull because my old bull, I felt like it's no longer suitable for my cattle. So I felt like I need something new that will bring new money, new business. So I always consulted with Dr. Scholz to see how he can assist me from the Agriculture Research Council.
Even though she is there for others, she believes that she too needs a mentor.
I'm Gill Scholes, a retired specialist researcher with the Agricultural Research Council, but I'm still very much involved in research and development of the cattle industry in South Africa. You know, climate change is a reality, and South Africa is not going to escape it. We are going to be severely affected by climate change. Therefore, we need climate-smart agricultural production systems. So we need a new generation of farmers, but most importantly, a new generation of mentors who can mentor these farmers. I met Ipeleng through social media, and I immediately saw, but here is somebody that's got a passion for mentoring people and that actually understands what agriculture and the new generation is all about. I don't know whether you know, but she's mentoring especially cattle farmers, but also people involved in hydroponics, grain, and even vegetables. And I was telling somebody the other day, I live here in Centurion, and a lot of the green mealies, maize that you buy at the robots actually has been supplied through Ipeleng. So she's involved in that, but her passion is for agriculture, and she is really excelling in mentoring young people and especially young women.
And just like that, we've come to the end of our show. We hope today's episode has inspired you to come up with new ideas if you are looking to branch into the farming community. And if you're already in that particular community, please do embrace and inspire as well as mentor young up-and-coming farmers. From myself, Ipeleng Kwadi, and the rest of the team. Bye.